And if you find a partnership, or if you find a person who respects your world and can accept you in your world, but also
have their world,
has their own world, I think that's like a sweet spot. I've been this person for 41 years and 10 months. I will always be this person. I will always be with this person. Everybody else can leave.
No matter what. Correct.
This who I'm going to always be with, I'm going to pour into her.
There are always options if you are willing to break down the barriers of the normalcy of what is supposed to be.
And I don't think that you have to tell the world your entire life.
No, please don't.
Right?
We don't need it.
We don't need it. That's not healthy. That is the perfect sound effect. Like, ugh.
Ugh. Like, something
Seriously.
is not right. Welcome back to the Real Connect podcast. As always, I'm your host, Tamika Carlton, and I have Patrice Cameau. Hey. Thank you for coming out. We had a little bit of a hiccup. Like, I was a little tardy for the party, but thank you for your patience.
Absolutely.
I feel like just people being patient speaks volume to their energy, right?
Yeah, and there was a time where I wasn't always as patient, right? With myself, with others, but it's like, this is a great opportunity. It's going to happen how it's supposed to happen.
Facts. It's so like, let it flow.
Yeah.
Let it flow. I think, too, it's like being in connection with yourself and with others. Like, you realize that, like, you don't have control anyways. So it's like, why try to control it? You know? And I'm not saying that I want to be late.
No, absolutely.
That's not the point. But also, sometimes there are things that are out of your control. So I'm very much... I feel like having this conversation with you is perfect. And it's funny how things just kind of align themselves, right? Because I almost feel like that's like what happened with your life, right?
Yes.
Like having to be in alignment, understand what that means.
Yeah.
Be comfortable with that. You are a mom of three.
Yes.
Okay. You're originally from Baltimore, right?
The DMV.
Yes. Okay, where are you?
I was born in D.C.
Okay.
And grew up in Fort Washington, Maryland, which is Prince George's County.
Right.
And I live in College Park.
Okay.
I went to University of Maryland, and I stayed there.
And
I love College Park.
Do you love this area?
I do. Well, it's home. And living here, I think you can have any experience in the DMV.
That's very true.
Truly.
Yeah.
And I love that, right? If I wanted to go to a farm tomorrow, I could.
Yeah.
If I wanted to be at a hot club, I could. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so if I wanted to do great shopping,
right.
I could.
Right.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of conversations with people when they come visit. They're like, oh my God, it's so many professional Black people.
It is.
You know, they're not used to seeing that.
Yeah.
So I'm spoiled, right? Because this is where I'm from. But I could absolutely see myself living somewhere else.
Could you?
For sure.
And where is that at?
A beach.
Okay, you said it. I mean, right, I'm with
A
you.
beach.
Water is everything.
You know, water, sun, palm trees.
Yes.
I'm good.
Yes.
So we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
We're going to put that out into the universe. Well, how old are your kids?
18.
Okay, 18. You have an 18-year-old? I can't even believe that, honestly.
Yeah, he's 18. He's a freshman in college.
Okay.
And then we waited 10 years.
Okay.
And we have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old.
Oh my gosh. How was that, waiting 10 years, that gap?
It wasn't something that we did intentionally. It was like, okay, do we want to have another child? And we said, yeah. And it just happened to be 9 years later.
Oh my
gosh. And then
gosh.
she came 10 years later. We had a miscarriage about 1.5 years before our daughter. But, everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. And then baby number 3 was absolutely not planned. Okay. And so you can imagine we have an 18-year-old now who is his first semester in college. He's actually in Ireland. So he's not even here. He's overseas for the summer or for the semester. And I'm like, if we didn't have these two, we would be done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Kidding.
Like, we would be on the beach.
Yeah.
Beach.
Facts.
But
How long you been married?
A
long time, right?
Yeah, a long time. Our son is 18, so we've been married 17 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has that journey been? And it sounds like you guys, I would imagine, you've been through a lot. I mean, you had a miscarriage. How was that experience between?
It's been, marriage is a journey. You have really high highs, and some relationships have really high highs, some have really low lows. And I think everybody's experience is different.
Right.
Very thankful for our relationship and the things that we've enjoyed, and I think when you look at, so relationships and partnerships and things you do should have fruit.
Yes.
Right? Like you're in something, I think, be it 17 years, 17 days. If you're going to do it, there should be some type of fruit. And when I look at our relationship, I look at our kids, I look at, like, you know who we are. I feel like we're bearing fruit.
Right.
Is marriage for everybody? No.
Yeah.
I don't, it's.
I mean, I would imagine too that no, marriage is not easy.
It's
I don't think
not.
partnership in any way, friendships, partnerships,
Exactly.
mentorship, nothing is easy because you are pulling two personalities together. That especially when you're in a relationship for a long period of time, people change.
You're supposed to change.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right?
some people do not. But like the point of any relationship is to recognize the change and be willing to shift with the person.
Yeah.
How do you feel like being in your marriage has shifted you and kind of made you learn and grow how to move with someone else's growth?
I think I'm still learning that. I think I'm learning that every single day. I am someone who can be in her own bubble and can move at her own pace. And so I think probably one of the biggest things is but understanding that it is not just about you, Patrice. There is another human here that matters, that cares about you, that you care about. And so just factoring in someone else's thoughts, someone else's day, not taking things personal. That's probably been one of the biggest things that I'm learning.
Yeah.
Even now, probably more so now, right? Like everyone's world is about them. And if you find a partnership or if you find a person who respects your world and can accept you in your world, but also
have their
own world, I think that's like a sweet spot.
I think that's a sweet spot. I think also there's something to be said about kind of recognizing that the person is going to have their own world too. Yeah. Because it's hard when you're in a partnership or situationship and you don't want the person to have their own world.
Yeah.
Right?
Weird to me.
And outside of like the kids, because as a mom, I would imagine it would be hard to consider, because I don't have kids, but it would be hard to make sure that you know who you are always. How have you been able to move through that challenge?
Yeah, I think that's something that is so important to me. Like never losing Patrice. And while Patrice, the versions of Patrice, I may not be as forward because of things happening, I always know how to come back to center and like, okay, I'm feeling very depleted. Patrice, where are you, girl?
Right. Come to the forefront.
Yeah, girl,
hello,
where you at?
Flag on the plate.
We miss you.
Right.
It's like, but when you have one child, it's easy. You literally, y'all just hanging out. We would go to this Japanese hibachi place every week.
I love that.
Like that was our thing. And I could drop him off and do me, just living life. Yeah. And then you add two more back to back, and it's like, whoa. And then there's a pandemic that happens when the baby is 1.
Oh my god.
So you very easily lose yourself because life.
What does that look like, losing? Because I think people say that, but like, what does that look like?
For me, it looked like gaining weight, being out of shape. It looked like not having time to do the things I love. That could be reading a book. Truly sitting in my bed before I go to bed to read a book. And so it does sound cliche, like lose yourself, but it's truly like the things that bring you joy, they disappear because you're responsible for somebody else. And that's normal, right? Like there is a level of that has to happen, I think, in any type of partnership, like you said, right? But in order to lose yourself, you got to know who you were in the beginning.
Yeah, that's very key.
And I think often from conversations that I've had, it's like these women, us women, you go from career, college, career, trying to do that. And then at some point you have a partner and you're like, love, and then a kid. And it might happen in different stages, but typically it's always that trifecta. And it's like, but what about you?
What about you?
And so I love now you have the girls talking about, solo, self-care, decentering men and not, having babies.
Right.
I love that.
Well, yeah, it's also like we don't have to be identified with the outside. I think that's the
Yes.
important piece about losing yourself is like
Yes.
you become more focused on the external things, right? And like the external things are your kids, your husband, your partner, your career, all of the things that felt like they were supposed to be important. But at the end of the day, like if you don't have who you are, if you don't identify with you, if it is a struggle,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I mean, I don't
for
have
real.
kids, I don't whatever, but I will say having been in a relationship that caused me to question myself, I went through a phase of who am I? Like I forgot for a second because I was so focused on the relationship. So when you think about, right, you're like,
That's so real,
right?
Yes.
And you're like,
and it's not and also, I don't think it's a bad thing.
no.
It's just
It is a part
happens.
of
It's
evolving and growth.
yeah.
I think that is the essential part. I think it's interesting because I saw something online. Sometimes Instagram comes through with a word, right? But Jay-Z mentioned, he said, everyone wants to emulate the outcome, but no one wants to emulate the journey.
Right.
You want to emulate the riches, the jet, the popularity. You want all of that, but you don't want to emulate what it took me to get that, right? So it takes me being, struggling, making mistakes, being willing to figure out what I'm supposed to do to get over all of that. And it sounds like you've done a lot of the work. What did that work look like for you?
I think before even answering that, I think that's sometimes or kind of what makes me attractive, for lack of a better word, because I do share the journey. I'm really honest about things. Like I don't sugarcoat. It's not a perfect picture for me.
Yes, hello.
You know what I'm saying?
The real
that's
connect.
not real.
Okay, that's
it's
what
not
we hear.
real,
No,
right?
it's not.
And I think back to before I turned 40, so I'll be 42 in December.
Hey.
And I just remember leading up to turning 40, I had like a bout of depression because I was afraid of what 40 looked like. I felt like I hadn't checked off the boxes that I needed to check off.
What were those boxes that you thought?
Riches.
Right.
At that point, I wasn't in shape the way I wanted to be. Just all the external things, right? That we feel like, and I don't know who tells us this. I'm still trying to find the person that said we
like
needed
who
this.
Said,
who
it's
said
all
that?
over the place, though.
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I remember waking up on my 40th birthday, and I just felt this like relief. Like, you're alive. Your kids are healthy.
Chills.
You got a husband that I was at the Ritz-Carlton. I woke up at the Ritz-Carlton. That puts you like, you know what I'm saying?
Helps.
Like, girl.
That helps.
Relax.
Calm your nerves.
Yeah, calm your nerves. And then the work was getting in the gym. I know I talk about it a lot, but the gym for me, and I want more mothers, more women, really mothers though, to really make time for that physical activity because it is healing. The way you look is a byproduct. But when you are able to lock into you, not the kids, for an hour, 30 minutes, sweat, you just feel better. It was therapy. I went through some really traumatic things at my job. And because I spoke up about the impact, my job actually paid for me to go to therapy.
Oh, nice.
So thankful for that.
Oh, that's a word too that you spoke
I spoke
up.
up.
You spoke up.
Okay.
Like, how hard was that? Was that something that you were consciously willing to do, or did it just come about?
That's a good question. I didn't realize it until someone asked me about the experience, and I broke down like weeks later. And she was like, you need to, what's going on?
There's something there.
So I just reached out to HR and explained it, and that's how that ball got rolling. We worked through the work stuff in 2 sessions. I still had 8 sessions, and that's when we got to the perfection, Patrice, little girl Patrice, all that stuff. Also, for me, it was letting things go.
In what way?
Closing businesses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you did, so you had, what was it called?
CAMPspace.
CAMPspace, yes.
Walking in here made me think of it because we would have these day-long podcast shoots, and it actually does kind of look. We had a credenza that was very similar to this without the lines. Um, yeah, and we closed last year in June
Wow.
after 7 years.
After 7 years, what
Mm-hmm.
was that? Why did you feel like you closed?
Yeah.
Why?
It didn't feel good anymore. I
Mm.
remember walking. It was a beautiful space,
Mm.
right? And I just remember I would walk in and just like, I don't like it here. I just didn't
Really?
like the way it felt anymore.
Really?
The
Okay,
economy
in
changed.
comparison to when you first started it. So when you first started
Yeah.
it, you were like hype about it?
Yeah. Even like before it even was a thing,
Mm-hmm.
when it was just a concept, I dreamt about it. I
Mm.
engulfed myself in,
Mm.
because when we opened, it was a co-work space, and
Mm.
then I transitioned into a content studio
Mm.
because of the
Yeah, the
economy
things,
and
yeah.
just life, right? And I would be listening to podcasts. I mean, it was a 3-year process before we even had the space. Like, I wanted this. I knew it's what I
Like
wanted.
you
Yeah.
were in it to
Yes,
win
in it,
it.
ready. And that feeling truly spanned for about 5 years in. Like, it wasn't a started, was excited, and then didn't like it
Right.
anymore. This was it for me. I loved it. Helping people, big creators came through that
Mm-hmm.
space and did some of their first brand deals there, and people were taking like their family portraits. I mean, we were part of
Yeah,
some
they
really
could.
important
Yeah,
moments.
that's amazing.
And then life shifts.
I
And
I appreciate that so much because I think people think that like things are supposed to remain the same, the
ooh,
feelings are supposed to remain the same, but that's
mm-mm,
what honestly it's a reflection of where you were your growth,
that part, yeah,
right?
under
Like
100%.
and you were like this was it, but it was no
Yep,
longer a part of
yep.
what was meant to be. So how did you make that decision?
So it was both spiritual
Mm-hmm.
and logical,
Mm-hmm.
because I think the two should exist
Yeah.
together. Like, two things need to be true. So I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't give me that emotional. Um, but then also the economy changed.
Mm-hmm.
So all the pandemic money had ran out.
Mm-hmm.
People were learning how to create content on
On
their
their own,
own.
yeah. Yeah.
So, the booking started to slow down.
Yeah.
We had a subleaser, so that definitely, took a
Helped.
lot of,
Yeah.
weight off of our shoulders. But it was like, you know what, this isn't bringing in the income that it was. So it was kind of an easy decision.
Yeah.
We just didn't renew the lease.
Did you like consult with people about it?
My
See, that's
husband.
good. I love that because I
Yeah.
think a lot of times people are like, "Well, I gotta ask my friends, my mom, my
No, they're
dad."
not. They wasn't helping me pay the
No,
rent.
hello.
Like, what?
Truly.
You are not writing this
Right.
2,300 rent check every.
Hello.
Like,
Hello.
no, you don't.
You don't have no
Absolutely
say,
not. Yeah,
right?
and even when we closed, I remember the day when it was the day that we needed to go was June 30th.
Mm.
It felt like a funeral. No, seriously. Even though I had made resolve with it, I was okay with it. I knew it was happening. I woke up that morning, and I remember going downstairs. I remember that day so vividly, and my husband was asking me a question about the people coming to pick up the stuff, the junk. Like, we had, you have the trash
Yeah.
people come,
All this.
and then he was 17 at the time. He comes downstairs and he's like, "Hey, Ma, what's up?" And he asked me a question about it because I don't think he realized it was happening. And he was like, "Oh," and then I just broke down crying,
Oh
like in
man.
his arms, right, my baby.
Oh, I know.
And that was tough. And so then we wiped our tears, and I drove to the space, which was only like 10 minutes from our house. And I talked to my dad, who was the first entrepreneur I ever knew. And he was like, "You did what you needed to do." And then he reminded me of like all the cool things that had happened there.
That you had accomplished.
Yeah.
You had done what you were supposed
I
to
did
do
it.
there. Like,
Yep. And that was like, okay,
did you know what you were gonna do after?
not at all.
No.
Not at all.
You're like, no. You're like, actually, no.
And didn't want to. I had, I work a full-time job,
Yeah.
which was probably one of the other reasons why I knew it was time to make some changes, because I like my job, and I wanted to be able to fully be
Focus
there,
on, yeah.
right?
That makes sense.
So I said, people would ask me like, "What's next? What's next?" Because I am the girl that always got
Yeah.
something cooking.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. I was like, I have kids, and I want to just work my job.
I mean, how did that feel? Was that okay? Because
Relief.
it sounds like, yeah, but it sounds like that's not normal for you. Like,
It
was that
wasn't.
a shift?
It wasn't normal, but it felt really good.
Okay.
Because there was no pressure.
Yeah.
Right? I think a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on ourselves.
No kidding.
And it's like, I don't have to do this.
No.
I cannot do this.
Right. And there are always options.
Yeah, always.
I think that's another thing
Always.
too, that like in all of life, if you think about it, there are always options if you are willing to break down the barriers of the normalcy of what is supposed to be, right? Because I think that, like, for you, for example, it's like people, I've heard this whole trend of, like, you know, for a long time, entrepreneurs weren't supposed to have a full-time job. Well, why not?
Why not?
Right? And, or there's like this idea of, you know, you have to be this level of success for you to be important.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, at the end of the day, no matter what, there are always options. You get to make your own, figure out what you want to do, right?
What works for you.
Correct. And, but back to what we're talking about with like the self-care situation and all that you do, you have to know who you are. So what do you do to get to know who you are? I know you said you know, you recognize that you were losing yourself by not like being able to read or, you know, you were gaining weight. What do you do now to make sure that you are connected to Patrice?
Absolutely. The boundaries are, I say,
the laugh.
I say, look, I like my boundaries long and hard.
I love them. Okay. Hello. Hello.
For real.
No, for real.
I think it's, at this point, it's a part of our life, right? So when we, every Saturday morning, I go to boot camp.
Oh.
It's not a question.
Yes.
Now, usually I'll get up early enough to still make the kids breakfast, but I have already taken my shower, put my gym clothes on, and my kids are like, all right, see you later.
Like, everyone knows this
Everybody
is what mom
knows.
is doing on Saturday morning.
Saturday morning is for me.
Was that a struggle to get to that point, though?
It wasn't.
Okay. Good.
It wasn't.
Clap it up.
Yeah. And so it actually started before I turned 40. The pandemic we were in the thrust of it.
Right.
And I'm at home with a husband, a 13-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And I felt like the walls were like closing in. So like every day at 5 o'clock, I would have to go for a walk. We live in a very walkable city. And I remember my husband was like, you know, I don't know if that's safe because of the pandemic. You know, we didn't know if sweat.
Oh, yeah, right.
And I remember I was about to
beginning.
break down, like, I have to walk. I have to get out this house because if I don't, I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And so we were able to figure it out. That then led to just continuously going on these walks, which, you know, mommy puts her sneakers on. They know where she's going.
I love that. They're like, oh, mom is
There
putting
she
on her sneakers.
You know, they know.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was if there are these like set things that happen versus just doing what feels right and following that routine. So, you know, I wake up, we get the kids out, I go to the gym at my job, and I say this is nothing I'm trying to hide. On my calendar, 3 days a week from 9 to 11.
That's what
blocked.
you're doing. You're going to the
gym.
gym.
Yeah, nobody can book it.
That's very smart.
And if you ask me about it, I'm going to say, oh, no, I'm at the gym.
Yeah.
The work still gets done.
Were you nervous about that initially, putting that on your calendar? Because I think a lot of people, I ask because I think a lot of people want to make the time, but they're nervous that people are going to ask the questions, not feel like it's acceptable, all of the things.
Yeah, I mean, I think thankfully I work somewhere that is family forward and flexible. So I don't think I was.
That's good.
But I also think that I know I'm going to get my work done. I'm going to do my job.
Correct.
Right?
Getting your work done is a plus.
Yeah. So whereas someone else may have some apprehension because maybe they're not able to,
perform at their highest,
right? Or manage their time.
Yeah, correct.
You know, we've been doing this for long enough to know, girl.
I love that.
Sometimes I might have to check some emails while I'm on the treadmill. Yeah. That's okay. We're going to get it done. And then like bedtime. I'm usually in the bed by 9:30.
Really?
Yeah. And I've always been that way. So
what time do you go to sleep though?
10:15.
Listen. Wow, that's so good.
Yes, I'll like do my skincare, my shower. I do my self-care, you know. And then I'll get in the bed and read or watch some TV. And I'll fall asleep.
Like you have a routine.
I have a routine.
That's good.
And so going back to boundaries, when you have a routine and when everybody in your life already knows your routine, I don't know if it's so much so as setting boundaries as this is what I do.
That's so funny because I actually am against routine.
Okay.
But I will say this. I'm against routine because I'm like a free spirit. Like I like, I just want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. But I will say that having like my husband and I started this like kind of 75. Have you heard of 75 hard? Yeah, we started that, but we like did our own rendition.
Okay.
Because ain't nobody doing all, it's way too intense,
workouts,
right?
Yeah,
no, thank you. But we did it and it was like, okay, I'm going to journal every night before I go to bed. We're going to work out every day. We're going to be very regimented about the food that we eat and what we consume. Something shifts when you do that. Yeah. It's like you are ensuring that you're important and what you want to do is important, right?
Absolutely.
And I can only imagine with being a mother and a wife and a full-time employee that it's harder for you to do that. And you help women do this. Like, this is what you do.
Yeah, try to anyway.
Right? Like, this is what you focus on with, like, your 7-day challenge. What is your 7-day challenge?
Yeah, so it's the Put You First 7-day challenge. And it is truly 7 days. Like, every morning you wake up, there's an inbox or an email in your inbox giving you something to do that day for you. Maybe it's go work out. Maybe it's go on a solo coffee date. Maybe it's...
I love that.
Yeah, like just something that does not include anybody but you. There's no cost. Once you do it, we are part of a community. We can talk about it,
When you first... Because you do. I've seen your Instagram. Like, you be going on solo trips.
Yep.
I love a good... Yes. Listen, I'm an only child, so I love... personal time.
I was only child for 15 years.
See? So, like, you know how to have your own time. But I think investing in solo time, you've gone... What are some places that you've gone?
Yeah. So, for my birthday last year, I went to Aruba.
Okay.
Solo.
I love that.
And it was the best 4 days. So, here's what I always like. When you are partnered or a parent, because you're giving of yourself. So, regardless... When you go somewhere, when you go on a trip with somebody else, you at some point have to factor in what they want.
Yeah.
Even if it's your baby,
it's true.
Your boo. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point you gotta.
You do. You have to be like, it's not always
it's
about
not
you.
about you. And everybody should be able to experience a couple days where they are the only thing that matters.
That's very true.
Whether you have kids or not. But when you have kids, it is really vital that you know what you want and you can do what you want to do for a couple days. And that concept is so foreign to so many mothers.
People in general. Yeah.
And because when I say it, when I go there, like,
who's here with you?
Hey, is your husband? Is he okay?
Right.
I love myself.
Yes.
Like I can sit at a bar in a restaurant for hours just
by
laughing.
Myself. Just having a good old time.
Having a time. And I believe everybody should feel like that about themselves. Now, I know there are some instances where there's some mental things and there are other things that might hinder or make it more difficult. But I would love for everybody to...
I also think it's like you don't have to... The first time you do it, you don't have to go to Aruba.
You don't have to be on a flight.
Right. Like you can just take a 10-minute walk.
Yes.
Or you can go to the gym for 30 minutes.
Absolutely.
Or you can go read your book or whatever it is. It can be simple. Like I remember I was a little bit dramatic when I was younger. I was like, okay, I'm not going to have... Because I was like, no way I'm going to get out of the house if I have access to everything in my home. If I have cable and internet here, I'm going to be, because what is but I told myself, okay, you're not going to have, you're going to test it. You're not going to have internet and you're not going to have cable for at least 30 days. And this was before Instagram. But the point is, I was like, okay, and guess what I did? I went to the cafe. I went to neighboring. I started exploring my neighborhood. I started connecting with different people. I start appreciating my personal time. So I think it can be simple things. I mean, that wasn't as simple, but there can be simple things. And it sounds like you have, I mean, you've been to Aruba. Where else have you been?
Yeah, so
California?
I think my first, I've been to a lot of places in the States, right? Okay. Nashville, Dallas, I think I'm actually going to New Jersey tomorrow.
Nice.
And I'm going for a wedding, but I'm going by myself, and I'm going to make it a couple days versus just a wedding. I went
I
to,
love
I
that.
think my farthest experience was to Bali.
Okay.
Now, here's something that
Wow.
I suggest, right? So let's say you are venturing into this solo travel. You could join like a retreat. So I
Yeah.
went on
Yeah.
a yoga retreat. I didn't know anybody on the retreat.
Yeah.
I
Makes it
had my
easier.
own room. So I had a community. If I wanted to talk to somebody, at least there were people that, and there were a couple of us on the same flight. So there was some comfort there.
Yeah.
But I was still by myself, which was like a really happy medium because I'm literally all the way across
I
the
mean, that's a big
globe.
deal to
That was
go
big. And I
across.
cried. That was the first time I ever cried before a trip because
Why
I
did
was
you cry? You were
scared. I was
scared to
like, I've
like
never been this
the
far.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd never been that far away from my family. I'd never been that far that long.
How long were you
That was an
away?
8-day trip.
Oh yeah, that's a good amount of
So that
time.
was a
I
lot for
mean,
me.
it seems like your husband is super supportive of like all of this too.
He is.
Yeah.
I think also my husband knows who I am.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely said to me when I went on my birthday trip, which was his gift to me, right? I can't. I don't. This is my life because of my partner, right? Like we work together. We've set up our life so that this is possible. But he said to me when I got back, he was like, I don't like that you're by yourself for your birthday. And I felt him. But the reality was my birthday was on a Tuesday. I wasn't taking the kids out of school. Somebody got to be there for the kids.
Right.
And I wanted to be on a beach for my birthday. And there's this like value in being able to say what you want.
And actually, what would you say to people, and this may be a little controversial, what would you say to people that think that that's selfish?
That's okay that you think that, right? Because there is no way you can call me selfish.
Yeah.
Right? Put the kids aside. These loving individuals who, as soon as I walk into a room, they run to me and they are all in my face because I give just love. But I know personally that I'm not. I give how I need to give.
Sure.
And selfish to me is when you are doing things for yourself
That's
that
not going to
hurt
benefit
others, that hurt someone,
Truly,
right?
Yeah.
That undermine someone, that are intentionally negative, right? That's kind of what selfish feels like to me.
I'm with you.
But being able to hone in on who I am, I've been this person for 41 years and 10 months. I will always be this person.
10 months, yes.
I will always be with this person.
No
Everybody else can leave.
No matter what. Correct.
This who I'm going to always be with, I'm going to pour into her.
Yes. And it also, you recognizing what you need allows you to pour into everyone else effectively.
Easy, right? Like it seems like the most cliche thing, right? It's like, put your air mask on first and then your baby. But in the real life, we're always taking care of everybody else first.
We are, but I just got chills, and it's like we are taught to take care of other people, but in life sustaining situations, we actually have to take care of ourselves first.
Got to. And I physically, this happened this past summer in the chaos of our son graduated from high school and all of that, and it was a beautiful thing. It spiked anxiety and stress levels in me I had never experienced before. My body started to break down.
Why?
I think it was just so much happening. It started when he went on a trip, 6 days, no adult supervision, the graduation trip. That is what kicked it off. And I'm still experiencing it. So I had my very first anxiety attack. I thought I was having a heart attack.
Oh my gosh.
Broke out in hives all over.
Oh my gosh.
Still breaking out in hives.
Is it because you felt out of control?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was nervous, felt out of control. Also planning graduation, prom, people calling, I'm happy, I'm sad, just everything. And my body was like, girl, what? Because we live a pretty chill,
yeah.
Like life is real low key at our house. But this summer was crazy. And because all these things were happening, schedule change, had to wear a heart monitor just to make sure I wasn't having a heart attack. Girl, it was crazy.
That's a lot.
Couldn't go to the gym.
Couldn't go to the gym. You were like, how am I going to survive?
Right. And my body was like, I need
you need an outlet. You're super transparent. Like I've seen some of your Instagram posts, and I'm super supportive of folks that are transparent and just vulnerable. Like, why is that important to you?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. I don't, I think that we live now in a world where it is just so easy to not be true.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that you have to tell the world your entire life.
No, please don't.
Right?
We don't need it.
We don't need it. That's not healthy.
Right.
But I think if you've experienced something
Mm-hmm.
that can possibly help somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
not even be better, but like see something in themselves that maybe they do something differently, maybe they ask the questions, then I think it's a disservice if I don't talk about it. Because how else will someone how will someone else feel safe? Right? And so the things that I share are just true experiences of being who I am, right? You know, don't even talk about the whole perimenopausal. Like, life is super weird.
I know, it's always something is always going
It's
on.
always
and
something.
It's always something that you don't necessarily understand, but you have to go through it to get it.
Go through it. And even that I'm still having these like hive breakouts, like I felt like I did a post where I just basically said, this is how mental stress can break your body down.
Yeah.
Because I haven't seen where we're talking about that.
No.
Right? We're not talking about how when things are off,
not going well,
it is going to affect your body.
Yeah.
And we blame it on, no, girl or man, right? Because it's not gender specific. What are you thinking about? Because something you're thinking about is manifesting in your body.
I think too. I mean, I'm a person that doesn't. You know, a lot of times my husband is like, "You're probably stressed," and I'm like, "But I don't really feel like it. I feel good." But it's like your body does take on, like, I'm sore, my shoulder blades are tense, my neck is. I'm on the struggle. Yeah, you're right. And I think the other point is that like when I work out, I get to release a lot of that tension, even though I don't know that tension exists, right? Mm-hmm. But it's like, if I don't work out for a long period of time, I feel like, ugh.
What's going on? That is the perfect sound effect. Like, ugh.
Ugh. Like, something
Seriously,
is not right. Like,
something ain't right.
I just saw Kamala Harris did an interview, and she was saying, she was like, every day, no matter what time or how much time I get or how many hours I get of rest, I always work out in the morning.
I know that's right.
Because you have to start your day. Listen, I do mine in the evening, but I have to release at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Or it's good for you to start your day with not the excess stuff. And a lot of times all that stress and just the gets into your system and you don't realize it.
And you have to set boundaries for yourself. So I know, and I'm guilty sometimes, like starting your day with social.
Yeah, no.
You know,
it's a problem.
It's a problem. Mm-hmm. It's a big problem. But I see a lot of people do it. And it's like,
it's a habit. It's a habit that we need to break.
And we got to set boundaries for ourselves. Like, yo, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Because it's not healthy.
No.
You know, it's building up the anxiety before you even get out the bed.
Well, and it's also like we all know what we're doing that's not helping us.
Yeah.
Like, I know when I wake up and I pull up my phone and I'm like scrolling through Instagram for 35 minutes before I get my day started. I really shouldn't be doing that. I really shouldn't be, but it's entertaining and engaging. But is it good for my mental health and just my day to day? And like, even, you know, with the 75 hard, it's like, I feel so much better because you don't drink, you don't, you know, you're eating. I mean, I don't really eat processed foods, but it's super strict.
Clean,
yeah. And it's like, I feel so much, my brain is more functional.
You're lighter.
Yeah, it feels so good. What do you like want for people, because you help moms and you are a mom, but like, what do you wish for people to see, do, be? Right?
I want everybody, or I wish, my hope is that people know themselves enough to like just make their dreams come true.
No,
does that sounds so
cliche, but that's beautiful.
You know, I have conversations with people who. So my number one Clifton strength is futuristic, right?
Oh.
Like
that's not common.
I know what's happening.
Yeah,
I'm hip. Like, and I'm not psychic or anything, but I can very easily map the whole thing out.
Yeah,
and so in that, I'll come across people or experiences or situations where I know what could happen, what could be of this.
Yeah. Like the possibilities.
Yes, the possibilities. Yeah. And they just are too deep in the weeds or too into someone else or something else, don't know themselves enough that they can't even fathom it. And I just wish that even if you don't experience that, like whatever the pinnacle, right? To just know that you're working towards it, to me, is just the journey.
It's the journey, and it's like, we all have a vision and a dream. Like, we all have something in us. It's just a matter of bringing it out to the forefront and believing in it.
Yeah.
And I think the only way to believe in it is to be able to sit with self, recognize that this is what you want.
Yep.
Because there's so many outer thoughts that are impeding on what we want that it's hard to know. And I think I saw you on a podcast recently, and you said, you have to know what your voice is.
Yes.
Because it's like, who's really talking here? Is it somebody else's thoughts or is it mine?
Girl, and there often, I'm not a quick, like I'm usually not able to come back quickly. Yeah. So there'll be times where there'll be a situation, there'll be a conversation, and I'm just like, okay. And then I'll step back and all of the external voices are gone.
Yes.
And I'm just sitting in here thinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wish I could have thought about it in the moment. But it's that quiet time that is allowing me to...
It's like the clarity that you get when you're with self without all of the excess.
The noise.
Yes, the noise is real.
Real. And I feel like, thinking to your last question, I would say part 2, my wish is for people to get some solitude.
Yeah.
And
be comfortable.
Be comfortable in that.
I know so many people that I've been around that hate solitude.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it, because there's a lot of thoughts that come in. It could be your past. It could be your future. It could be a lot of things that you don't want to deal with or don't want to face. But the truth is that it's never going to go away.
It's never going away.
Until you face it. It's going to come out in one way or another.
Always.
And I would prefer for me to be able to control it a little bit versus it could result in an ailment. It could result in injury or, mental health situation or crisis or breakdown. And I've been there too, where like I have, like you said, like anxiety. And it's like, where is this coming from? You know where it's coming from? All of the things that you haven't dealt with.
Yeah. And now, there have been times where I would, in going through those tough situations that life brings us, instead of me coming home and finding solitude and being quiet, I'm going to go to the bar. I'm going to get a cocktail. Or I'm going to take an edible.
I mean, how many people have done that, right?
I mean, that's the norm.
Right.
It's literally the norm.
It's true.
And so, but when you're like, oh, or I every beginning of the start of the year, I always do a fast. And so it never fails. Like I always, day 2 of the fast, I experience something that is like, what the, like, and it's like, you can't go to those things.
You gotta be in it.
Sit in it.
You gotta sit
in
it.
And once you start to get used to it, it's like, all right.
It's not so, I mean, it's not comfortable at first. It's like when I remember I haven't drank caffeine for, almost 3 years. And I remember when I first stopped, the second and third day, that headache was ridiculous. And it was like, I can just have a sip. And I was like, but I didn't. And I will never go back to caffeine because I'm like, it wasn't worth it to me to have to experience that headache again.
Yeah. Right.
So it's almost like when you are in the predicament where you are uncomfortable, if you just allow yourself to go through the discomfort, you really do get out on the other side. And you're like, I don't want to have anything to do with that nonsense.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. You're married, you have kids, you have a career. What have you learned, or what's taught you the most? Like, what relationship has taught you the most? Because you have a relationship with your career, you have a relationship with your kids, obviously, and your partner. But like, what has really made you get to know you a little bit better?
I mean, I think all of those relationships play a role. I know what works for me because I am extremely tapped into who I am, right? And so I'm thankful for the relationship I have with myself. And that comes in so many levels. That comes in like being accountable and knowing when I'm wrong and knowing when I need to be accountable and knowing when something doesn't feel right. So I'm just not even going to put myself in that situation and knowing when I need to actually sweat. Like, I know exactly for the most part what I need to do to recenter and get back to like a healthy place. And sometimes that healthy place is uncomfortable, but I know I at least did what I needed to do. So I just feel like knowing me has been the most beneficial.
Period.
Do
you feel like you've gotten to know yourself more, though, through all of those?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Like, having kids make you face something different from being in a relationship with your partner.
Yeah, like, I mean, my kids showed me how impatient I was.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
Like, girl, they're 6.
Yeah, like, relax. They don't get it. Like,
they don't have to rush. Right. It's not their fault you're late.
Right.
You know? It's not their fault that you're late, that you didn't wake up in time. So, and I was a very impatient person.
Real quick, I'm sure,
Still working on that.
Yeah.
I think also, like, when we're talking about the motherhood, the default parenting, the mom being the one, I literally went to see my mom before I came here, and she's a career woman. Love her. Like, she's amazing. And
shout out to mom.
Oh, hey, girl.
No, for real.
Like, when I just remember her being in her career, and while my dad also had a career and they both worked, like, she was always the one doing everything. I mean, my dad cooked. God, love them both. But she was like the one picking up. Like, I just remember her commuting an hour and getting to pick me up late. And I just was, as you get older, you're like, well, why was it all on her?
Right.
Right. And like, I don't remember her ever taking trips by herself.
And you flip the script. Like, what does she say about that? How does
she loves it.
I love that.
She loves it. Even I was telling her that I'm, going to the wedding tomorrow, and she's like, well, just, you don't have to. My family is from New Jersey, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to call them. She was like, just spend time with yourself.
Yeah.
She gets it. She didn't have to raise 3 kids at one time,
but still,
she respects it.
She
and
appreciates.
Yeah, like, she's never said, like, you leaving the babies, ever.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah. So our relationship has taught me a lot. And it's so for her birthday in May, she went on her first solo trip.
Look at her.
She sure did. She went to Ellicott City, this really nice resort. And she went by herself. She had a ball.
I know she was. I would see, and she was probably inspired by you.
She was, and she told me. She was like, "I'm going on my first momcation."
I mean, that's a beautiful.
Yes.
Thing. Oh my gosh.
So yeah.
Pay it forward. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you want your kids to take away from how you move in the world?
Different answers there. So I want my sons to, if they become fathers, I want them to be true partners. If they're, be a true parenting partner.
Please.
Do what works.
We need more of that in the world. Yeah.
Don't expect her to carry all the weight. Have the conversations before. But also, just overall, I want my children to be really keen on themselves. And again, being keen on yourself does not mean doing only what works for you and not factoring in
others,
right? It's not intentionally being a jerk. Right. It's not that. It's being very clear on where you feel comfortable, where you feel loved, when you can give and when you can't.
Yeah.
Being able to articulate that. My oldest son I think he's actually getting there. Like, it's really amazing to see this 18-year-old just know who he is.
Yeah.
Be like, no, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do it. And no, and that's it.
Yeah. Or, let's do this. Yeah. Being able to take disappointment. So, definitely want that for them. My daughter, my daughter's on the autism spectrum. And so her life just looks differently. I want her to experience a full life.
Yes.
I want them all to experience a full life.
Of course.
For her, particularly because she does have, some neurotypical things. I just want her to be happy.
Yeah.
I just want her to be happy, and know that she's beautiful. And she knows that because she's in the mirror like, I love my hair. I'm like, yes, girl.
I love that. We need people.
Yes,
confidence
love yourself.
Is key, okay?
That's it.
And loving yourself is key, because the truth is that no one can love you more unless you love you first.
And I feel like that brings it all, we talk about the solo trips and being alone. You have to love yourself.
You have to love yourself.
The good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. You got to love yourself more than anybody else loves you.
Yes.
And
not
once
be
you get there,
not be overly conceited, but like conceited to the point where we can appreciate it.
Confident.
Yes.
Because it's not always going to be good. It ain't going to always feel great.
No.
And
know that you're doing your best.
Yes.
I think that's what it is too. It's like you're doing your best with what you have, and I think if you can have some assurance in who you are, it makes life much easier.
Yeah. And I'm sorry.
No, you're totally fine.
Everybody not going to get it.
No, thankfully, because I'm not meant. Everybody is not meant for everybody.
That's a big one. I think
Sips
more
water
adults.
On that one. Okay.
Many adults need to realize that too.
Yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like there's so many millions and bazillions of people out here. Like we don't want everyone to be fitting with us. Okay.
Yep.
Speed round.
Okay.
Ooh. Do you drink caffeine? Caffeine.
Yeah, I had coffee before I walked in here.
Okay, so you're like, actually, yes.
Yeah.
Do you do... Okay, if you could pick coffee, matcha, or green juice.
Matcha. Oh, wait.
See? Wellness, come on.
Where I am in my life right now, it's matcha.
Okay. Matcha, I used to love matcha when I was in my caffeine days, and matcha is phenomenal.
Yeah. It's
really great for focus. Have you tried yerba mate? You should try that. That's a good alternative to matcha, too. It's really good.
Is it green?
It's like, no.
Okay.
I think it's Argentinian, I believe. It's a really good tea.
Okay. I'll check it out.
Okay. Early morning quiet or late night creativity?
Ooh.
I feel like, well, first of all, you go into bed at 9:30.
So I'm going to go with the late night creativity because there was a time where I would always wake up at 3:00 and I would get really upset. Like, why am I up? Why can't I sleep? In the middle of the night,
3:00 in the morning.
Yes. But now it's happening a little more now because I'm having
the hot flashes. They hitting us.
Oh, Lord. But those have been some really amazing peak creativity moments. So now I just accept it.
You just got to live
and I roll with it. Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. I'm not looking forward to that life. Hopefully it'll impact me in a different way. I do have like visions in the middle of the night, which is annoying. So I have to get up. Yeah, I have to get up and like put it. It's not fun.
What I've learned in those moments is to just accept it.
I mean, yeah, because if you fight it and you try to go to sleep, your mind is just going to be consistently wandering. Okay, your dream momcation destination.
Right now, probably Egypt.
Ooh,
I want to go to Egypt so bad.
Okay. And you're going to do it alone?
I think my husband probably wants to go. So.
Okay.
But if we're saying...
Yes, alone. What's your dream alone self-care destination?
Nicaragua.
I would love to go there Nicaragua. Too. It's a different vibe. Not many people go.
A lot of people don't go.
I want to go.
Yeah, definitely Nicaragua.
One thing that still surprises you about marriage?
You don't always know, like for us, we've been together for a long time, but you never really know how the person's going to react to something.
Ever, right?
You just never know.
I mean, we're always changing. Which is a beautiful thing. Okay, 2 more. Word your kids would use to describe you. Yeah, gotta make you think.
That's good.
Right? Gotta make you think.
Maybe soft.
Oh, they think you...
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, like
you're a little
so
softy.
Soft. Like literally and probably soft. Yeah.
I love that. That.
I think I'm gonna ask
yeah, please
though.
ask them.
Yeah.
I want to know. Okay, last one. Finish the sentence. Real connection feels like.
Real connection feels like home. No matter if you've known them for 10 minutes or 10 years. Just feels like
easy.
Hey. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure, Patrice.
This is so good.
So joyful. Thank you for joining.
This felt like a real connection.
Right. That's what it's supposed to be.
Absolutely.
I love it. All right, y'all. Until next time, The Real Connect.